Hello, my name is Dave Walker, and I'm a virtual career and life coach. The area of focus for me is on what I call self-change management. So I actually wrote a book about it. So my book is Mondays Don't Have to Suck, How Small Changes Can Make a Huge Difference, and it's available on Amazon. But today what I wanted to is I wanted to talk to you about another book. So it's called How to Be Miserable, 40 Strategies You Already Use by Randy Patterson. Um, if you think of it, most people think of self-change management being something that you'd want to do something that's positive. Well, in this case, I'm actually want to talk about for those of you who want to become more miserable. Excellent book. I think he's really done a great job of coming up. The 40 strategies cover a lot of different areas. I actually tested some of them out myself, so I'm going to share my experience using the strategies. I'm also going to share, I've seen some of these strategies being used by other people, and it looks like it's been pretty effective as well. And then at the end, I have a challenge for you. So for those of you who want to be miserable or more miserable, stay tuned. And for those of you who are thinking of maybe doing something opposite of that and having more of an enjoyable life, I think you might get something out of it as well. So first of all, the book. So if you get a copy of the book, he's got the 40 strategies in there. So if you go in there, you can find the 40 strategies. As I say, there's something for everyone. And as we change our lifestyle and our way of thinking of that, we can run into all of a sudden that miserable isn't enough for us. So there's other ones that we can go in there and leverage as well. So I actually leveraged a couple as well. So at one point in time, and again, I explain this more in my book, I went through a phase of clinical depression. So getting to my clinical depression, two of the lessons, I used a lot of them. I was multitasking. A couple of them I used was one of them is lesson number one was avoid all exercise. So I did not do any exercise whatsoever. It's like 264 pounds, which is, about 65 pounds over my weight. I was obese. So I pretty well mastered that one. And then lesson number 21 as well, become an island unto yourself. So isolate yourself. So even we as humans have a need to connect with other people. I did not connect and isolated myself. And just those two in themselves, as I say, I became clinically depressed. I wasn't even aware of it. That's how well those worked. Another one, so I actually suffered from work burnout about a year and a half ago. And again, I used many of the lessons, but probably the one I leveraged the most was lesson number 3, don't waste your life in bed. So I was so excited about my new business and connecting with people and the whole bit. I'd gone through so much of a change that I was basically, getting up at, early in the morning, getting out there, connecting with people. At 4 a.m., I was waking up in bed. I was thinking of what my day was going to look like. The weekends I was getting up early. On the days I just was not getting enough sleep, and not to mention not doing a lot of other things. And the result was burnout. So there you go. 2 examples of, how I was able to apply the lessons. Now, what I've seen in others, I've seen a lot, but I picked out a couple that I've seen a lot of. So one of them would be lesson number 19, insist on perfection. It's incredible how many people I come across who are looking for perfection. The stress, I can actually feel the stress. That's how well they're executing on that lesson number 19. Another one I see a lot too is cultivate and treasure toxic relationships. There's another book I'd read as well, or I've seen this a couple of times, is you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. So hang around toxic people, and guess what? You're going to do a great job of being miserable, because that toxicity actually, that's something that's actually you can capture from other people. So here's my challenge for you. So my challenge for you is pick up the book, go through or if there's another way, if they're online or wherever, take a look at the 40 strategies and pick one that would make you the most miserable. And remember, the only constant is change, so things are going to change, so you might have to go look for other ones, but pick the one that you think would make you the most miserable, the quickest, and see what you can do on that to see how you're doing. Now, for others, as I said, who don't want to be miserable, who are looking at more enjoying their life, the challenge goes out to you too. Pick one that you think is making you or would make you the most miserable, and do the opposite. And as a matter of fact, a spoiler alert for those of you who are getting the book, that's exactly what Randy J. Patterson recommends at the end is take these strategies and do the opposite. So good luck with that. Any of you who are interested in reading more about my journey into miserableness and clinical depression, and that I outline that in my book, and more importantly I talk about how I was able to turn that around, the lessons learned and insights and tools that I shared. If you do, I'd love to hear from you, what you're taking away from the book. So reach out. It's my email's daveawalker123@outlook.com. Anybody who also wants to connect and talk about anything around the topic of self-change management, feel free to reach out as well. So thank you very much. And for those of you who want to be miserable, well, enjoy. For those of you who want to be the opposite of miserable, enjoy. Cheers.